going to be talking about how the U.S. government made 19.6 million profit so far from Southwest Airlines. If you remember back when we had the pandemic, COVID-19, when it very first kicked off, we got a bailout. But in that bailout, we had stock warrants. So in this video, we're going to review the 10Q report that was released in April from Southwest Airlines that dictated the CARES Act and what the Treasury did, Stephen Munch, what he did to put the U.S. in a position and make them very profitable. And we're going to talk about why should an investor care about this. But if you, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and make sure. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we are going to jump straight into it. So this video, as you can see, we're going to talk about how the U.S. government made $19 million from Southwest Airlines. So the first thing we're going to talk about, you got to remember we had COVID-19 that smacked everybody in the face at the beginning of the year, the first quarter, around January, March timeframe, when it really started to take its grips on us. This required the U.S. government to give a bailout. Who remembers the bailouts? Okay, so those bailouts came in the form of an act that was passed called you guessed it, the CARES Act. Who remember when the CARES Act came out? Now, when the CARES Act came out, this gave bailouts to airlines, right? A lot of people didn't like bailouts, restaurants, bailout airlines, PPP loans, all that good stuff like that. But I did a video about this back when that happened back in April, and I talked about the stock warranties. So now this led into what the government did was stock warranties. So let's talk about what stock warranties are. Stock warranties gives you the right to be able to buy a stock for a certain price in the future. Sounds like an option, but it's not an option. So for prime example, somebody will say, hey, let me borrow $1 million. In return of letting me borrow $1 million, my company stock is trading for $10 right now. I'm going to give you the right to be able to buy my stock for $12 for the next 5 years. Meaning that if this company turns and goes into, let's say, and within 5 years, this company stock goes from $10 to $20, I can exercise my stock warranties and get the price of what I paid for it. If the company is trading for $20 and I got stock warranties at $12, guess what? I just made $8 per share. So this was made, I won't say made famous, but this was pretty known what Warren Buffett did back in 2008 with Bank of America in the form of preferred stock and stock warranties. So now we got a pretty good idea of stock warranties. Now let's take a look. Let's roll the beautiful bean footage. Right here, what I have put in front of you, I'm going to blow this up so you guys and girls can see it better. What I have in front of you, this is Southwest Airlines 10Q report that was put out on, what's the date on this? It was April something. Date should be on here somewhere. From Texas. This was the 10Q from April. Yeah, okay. This was the quarterly report that ended on March 31st that came out in April, right? So right here. So what I'm going to do, you type in the word CARES Act at the top. Type in CARES Act. Then you see the 13 facts. You're going to click on the 13 facts. You're going to go down to where were we at? I think it was sequential events. Go to sequential events. All right, this is our bread and butter right here. Right here, when they got that bailout money of like $3 billion, $3.3 billion, right here, they telling you, hey, we got $3.3 billion. They received in PPP. Now, when they receive that PPP, it will tell you right here, the company of Warranties can purchase up to 2.6 million shares of common stocks, subject to adjustment by the Treasury in each use. So right here, they're telling you, they issued the government 2.6 million shares of Southwest Airlines stock for this bailout, right? On April 21st, the company received its first installment of $1.6 billion of proceeds. And since they received that $1.6 billion, they gave the government 1.3 million shares of the company stock, right? So right here, this is telling you they gave out 2.6 million shares and up to stock warranties of 2.6 million. So the government can buy 2.6 million shares of Southwest Airlines within the next 5 years. So now let's look at this. Let's scroll down. All right. This will tell you right here. The warranty agreement sets out that the company is obligated to issue warrants in connection with the distribution of payroll support and to file a resale shelf registration statement warranty for the underlying stock. The company has also granted the Treasury certain demand underwriting offers a piggyback on registration rights with respect to the warranties and underlying stock. Here's the bread and butter. Each warrant is exercisable at $36.47 per share of common stock and will expire on the 5th anniversary on the date of the end of the issue. This is the line right here. The warranties are exercised or strike price or exercisable at the strike price $36.47, and it can go all the way up to the 5th anniversary of the issue date of the warranty. So the government, by giving that bailout, they can buy Southwest Airlines stock for $36.47 for 5 years. All right. So you see that the government has the right to be able to buy Southwest Airlines stock for $36.47. And they can do this up to 2.6 million shares, right? Now we fast forward to today. We fast forward until today on this particular deal. All right. We see today Southwest Airlines stock costs $46.28. Now, we just read in that report that came out in April, the 10Q report that you can get off of the SEC.gov, that the government can buy 2.6 million shares for $36.47. So let's do a little quick math. So right now today, Southwest Airlines stock is trading for $46 8 months later. So you take $46.28, you subtract it by $36.47. That would leave you with $9.81. So the government, if they exercise their warranties today, they will profit $9.81 per stock for Southwest Airlines. So you take $9.81 times 2.6 million, you're going to come up with roughly $19.6 million, almost $20 million in profit if the U.S. Treasury was to exercise its warranties today, right? Now, I'm going to ask a big question as an investor. Why do I care, Prince? Why do I care? Why should an investor care? Why do I care that this happened? When I made my investment in the Southwest Airlines, everybody know I've been talking about, hey, if I had to pick an airline, I'm going to pick Southwest Airlines, because now I realize that the government had an invested interest. The government had an invested monetary interest in Southwest Airlines doing better. Remember yesterday, the other day, somebody called in and he said, well, Prince, I think it was Peter Young called in and said, Prince, man, what made me buy Uber was I saw the backing. So the government, who has an unlimited paycheck, had an invested interest in Southwest Airlines to go over $36.47. Now, if you look at this screen that I'm sharing, when the government took this deal, this is why it's important. When the government took this deal, let's go back to April timeframe. Southwest Airlines was trading for less than $30. So the government took a deal when Southwest Airlines was $30, trading on the market for $30. The government said, give me the right to be able to buy Southwest Airlines for $36 within the next 5 years. When I saw that immediately told me, man, I need to get inside of this, right? Because the government had an invested interest. So that means that the government, it's too big to fail when you got Uncle Sam with an unlimited bag to just write off anything whenever he wanted to. So this is why this is important. Also, this is a lesson of how stock warranties work, right? So as you can see, this is not what I heard or what somebody told me or whatever. You can go back and you can tell your friends and your coworkers and your fellow investors, hey, are you aware of stock warranties? And do you know how many shares of Southwest Airlines can the government buy within the next 5 years? And what is that price? They'd be like, what? What are you talking about? This was one of the things that made me feel very strong into buy Southwest Airlines because they had the government backing. Now, granted, this was not the only company. They did this with Delta. They did this with Delta. They did this with Southwest. They did this with a couple of airlines as well. But I followed Southwest because Southwest had the strongest financials, and then the government had an invested interest. Mind you, the government said, let me buy Southwest Airlines stocks for $36 within the next 5 years when the stock was trading for $30 or less, right? So right then, that was my opportunity to say, well, I want to get inside of the stock and I want to, make it grow. So that's why I would care as an investor, because this gives you information that can help put in your arsenal. Don't just follow everything the government does, but this is information you can put in your arsenal as you're reading financial reports. But let me read some of you guys and girls' comments that are on here live before I get out of here. Great evening. Oh, Al, what's going on, Al? How you doing? Miss Lucky's mom out of Jacksonville, Florida. I did this episode because I remember telling you this when you called in. So we just looked at the 10K report. The government, when Southwest Airlines got that bailout, they gave stock warranties of 2.6 million shares, right? This is coming straight out of the financial report of Southwest Airlines 10Q. They gave the government the right to be able to buy 2.6 million shares for $36.47 within the next 5 years. This was when the stock was trading below $30. They gave the government this deal. Now that the stock is $46, the government now, if it exercised all of its stock warranties right now, it would be up $19.6 million. All right. Lucky Mom says, thank you for the video. Thank you. He said, Devin Smith, he's out of Hawaii. I think Devin's out of Hawaii. He said, what's up, Prince? Finally catch you live today. What's good, man? Glad to see you on here. FR8 TV said, what's going on, fam? What's going on, man? What's going on, FR8 TV? Lucky Mom says, sound was off. I'm glad I got that correct. She says, okay, it's back. G2G, I mean, it's good to go. I'm thinking good to go. All right. So hopefully y'all got everything in there. So let me do a quick recap. So we talked about back in March, COVID-19 pretty much almost bankrupted the airline industry. That called for the government to give a bailout. The government gave a bailout in the form of the CARES Act when the CARES Act got paid. Remember, everybody got $1,200 stimulus checks. The CARES Act got paid. When the government gave the Southwest Airlines that $3 billion bailout, it also issued stock warranties. Stock warranties are saying, hey, I want the ability to be able to buy your stock for a certain price for a certain amount of time. And inside that stock warranty, where did we find this information? Let me pull it up. We found this information out of the 10Q report. You can find this up under the 10Q report. You can look up the 10Q report that came out in April. This came out on April 20th. As of April 20th, type in the CARES Act. You can go into sequential events, and it will tell you. So the government is telling you right here, each warrant exercisable price is $36.47 per share of common stock and will expire the 5th anniversary from the date of each warranty, such warranty. Then you stroll all the way up a little bit more, it'll tell you right here, for this loan, the company can purchase up to 2.6 million shares of the company's common stock, subject to adjustment by the Treasury in each usage. So they can purchase up to 2.6 million of the shares at a strike price, at an exercise price of $36.47. This happened when the stock was trading for less than $30. That means the Fed was behind their success or was at least believing in them. That's why I was a big investor in the Southwest. I didn't go huge. I didn't go nothing crazy, but I always told everybody, you log into the show, I always tell you that this is the actual data. And now the stock is trading for $46. You can do the math and tell that if the government exercised their price right now, it'd be about $19.6 million in profit if they exercise their stock warranty. So hopefully y'all got this out, got something out of this, and I'm going to get out of here. There you go, Max B. Max B said it. He said, nice info, OG. I remember when you've been talking about it. Exactly. Max B been tuning into the show for a long time. You remember back when I did a show on this, telling everybody exactly how this was going to happen and why I was investing in Southwest. But a lot of people, Max, they wasn't following me 4 or 5 months ago, right? So that's why I'm replaying it. Carolyn, how you doing, Miss Carolyn Cannon? She said, I'm a rookie, but your explanation is very clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dervin Smith, he said, I may have missed it, but how can one profit from stock warranties? Okay, I'm going to do this before I get out of here. So what a stock warranty was, Southwest Airlines, let's go back. Let's see what stock Southwest Airlines was trading for on April 20th when this was written. Let me pull it up here. This was written, as you can see on the financial report, it was written on April 20th. Let's go back to April 20th. April 20th, on that day, Southwest Airlines was trading for $31. The government came in with a stock warranty. They said, give me the right to be able to buy Southwest Airlines for $36. As you can see, that's $5 over the market price. Give me the right to be able to buy Southwest Airlines for $5. I mean, not for $5, but for $36. $5 over the current market price that it was going on that day. Southwest Airlines said yes because they wanted a bailout. Now, if the stock price stayed below $36, the government would lose. But now today, the stock price is over $46, meaning that they can go in and exercise their price. They can go in and exercise. Even though the stock is trading for $46, the government can go in there and waive its warranty and buy Southwest Airlines for $36 a piece. You do the math, 36. So if they go in there, you see right now, Southwest Airlines trading for 46, they can go in and buy it for $36. Doesn't take a rocket science to tell you that's a $10 profit per share. Now you got to multiply that by 2.6 million because that's how many shares they can do it with. So if they exercise today, they can go in and buy Southwest Airlines for $36 and then sell it back to the market for $46. All right. That's how you can profit from a stock warranty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of children of all ages, I thank y'all for tuning in. Until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me do around the globe. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. Thank you.